In today's video, we're going to show you the exact process on how to restore heavily faded or oxidized headlights. Now, Lex will actually be the instructor on this video. He wants to get some more camera time, so he'll get some more experience and reps in with this video. Now I'll share the tools and products that we use, but I have most of the ones that we use linked down below, so don't get too caught up in what I'm saying. Just to check the description box down below for those tools and products. Now these headlights are about 13-ish years old, so something you have to consider when you're working on your headlights is just the actual condition that they're in. Some might not be recoverable or restorable because the damage is too far gone, or at least you have to have the right expectations going into the headlight restoration process, because sometimes even though you are sanding with maybe 500 or 800, the scratches are just so deep, or there's actual cracking in your headlights, that you would actually have to need to buy a new pair if you want them to a like new condition. So you can always make them look a lot better or significantly better, but to get them near perfect based on the condition of your headlights might not be possible. For those that just want a quick recap of the entire process, we started off with 800 grit and then moved up to 1,000, then 1,500, then 2,000 and 3,000. Then we followed that up with a cutting phase using a cutting pad and then compound, and then follow that up with the polishing phase, which is a polishing pad and some form of polish. And then we protected the headlights with a coating called the Opti Lens or Opti Coat coating. Again, everything will be linked down below.
First, we're going to open up the hood and we're going to tape the painted surfaces around the headlight. Next step, we're going to clean the headlight from any bugs or dirt before we get started. Alright, now we're going to start off with 800 grit sanding paper. So I'm going to get my sanding disc. It's a 3-inch disc on a 3-inch handheld pad with a Velcro plate, and we'll get our water and we're going to start sanding the headlight with this. So this headlight is very yellow, very oxidized, which is why we're going to start off with a heavy grit 800. This is going to remove all of that yellowness and the old clear coat quickly, so we can get to the next step faster. This white milky substance is the old clear coat being removed. Make sure to keep flushing the headlight. Get rid of that material. I have a clean sanding disc. You want to keep sanding until you stop seeing that milky residue coming off. Just got done sanding with 800. I'm gonna wipe it off and make sure everything looks even. Another trick you could do to speed up the drying. Let's get it. Your air compressor. Now what you're looking for is to make sure that the headlight all looks evenly sanded. There's no spots that look, you know, clearer, shinier, like there's still some clear coat there. It all has to look all whitish and even across the entire headlight. Now that we're done with 800 grit, we're gonna move up to 1000 grit. And now we're gonna sand in the opposite direction that we sanded with 800 grit. This is gonna help remove those 800 grit scratches. So we just got done sanding with 1000 grit. What you're gonna notice is as you move up in grit, the headlight will start getting clearer and clearer. If you see that happening, that means you're doing the right thing. Now we're gonna move up to 1500 grit. And with 800 grit, we went up and down sanding. 1000 grit, I went side to side. Now I'm gonna go once again up and down with 1500 grit. Now we will move up to 2000 grit. This way. Now, after 2000 grit, the final stage would be 3000 grit. And then again, sand in the opposite direction of your last step. So after 3000 grit, This is how the headlight should look. And then now we can proceed to compound and then polish the headlight to remove the 3000 grit sanding marks. I'm gonna use my battery powered Flex 3-inch polisher. We're gonna use Oberk cut, and we're gonna pair that up with a microfiber cutting pad. Shake the bottle. Apply a little bit of compound. We don't need too much, just a headlight. You can rub that in. And then we're gonna do 2 slow passes, up, down, left, right, on the headlight. Spread it out. This headlight has some very detailed areas here, some crevices where my polisher just won't stay spinning. So I'm taking the pad off the polisher and I'm gonna polish by hand. Alright, so let's wipe that compound off. You can use a paint prep, like Duplicolor grease and wax remover, to help you take off the compound. And now we're ready for our next step, which will be to polish this out. We're going to use Oberk polish and a Rupes yellow polishing pad. Apply a small amount. Oh God. And you can use your finger to rub it in. Alright, now let's go polish the headlight. Alright, so I'm gonna dab it out on the headlight just like we did with the compound, and then spread it out. And again, for those areas where the polisher won't stay spinning, you could just polish by hand. Right, so now we'll wipe that polish off. Right, and now we have a clear headlight. Now the next step would be to apply some form of protection. But before I do that, I'm gonna remove this tape and I'm gonna clean the surrounding area that we got dirty. So I'm gonna paint prep the headlight so that our choice of protection will bond. We're gonna use OptiSeal headlight coating. This is a permanent or semi-permanent headlight coating. This is what we like to use to seal the headlights. That way they don't yellow again for a very long time. We're gonna wear gloves. You definitely don't want to get this on your hands. And then an applicator pad, and we'll apply to the headlight. I'm gonna apply a little bit to the applicator, like so. And then in a crosshatch pattern, we're gonna apply this to the headlight. Now we're gonna let it sit there for about 2-3 minutes, and then we'll come in with a microfiber towel and we'll buff it off. All right, now we're gonna come in and buff the coating off. All right, and now this headlight is coated and protected for years to come. Now this is, I believe, a 2009, so these headlights have definitely seen some better days. What you will notice with vehicles this old is that the headlights might have some permanent damage. If you take a close look, there is some cracking around the headlight, especially here and around the sides. That would be permanent damage to the headlight, which can't be sanded off. But the point of the headlight restoration is to bring it as close as like new as possible. Of course, if you want the headlight to be just like new, then you would have to replace them. But the cost, you know, it might be more budget friendly to just get a headlight restoration. But it is a night and day difference.
And as you can tell, it's a pretty dramatic difference. Nowhere near perfect because these headlights are really trashed at this point. It's just the fact of the matter, they're really old, they have been cared for, so we can only restore so much. But it is a night and day difference. There's a lot more clarity and the vehicle just looks younger. It looks better by restoring those headlights. Again, depending on the condition of your lens will heavily dictate how much you're actually able to restore and just if you're gonna be satisfied with the results. But that's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know how Lex did in this series. Go a little easy on him. He's still getting used to the talking, how to stop, when to move and stuff. So he'll get better over time, don't worry. But let me know what you think about Lex in the comment section down below. And if you have any questions about the headlight restoration process or you wanna learn anything else, let me know because this is now my second or third headlight restoration video. So if I have to cover anything else, you let me know. You can check for the tools and products in the description box down below, and anything else that I have going on will be linked down below. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.